Welcome to GOS Media. I'm James Frost. In 1972, the handheld calculator promised that third graders would soon be doing algebra. It didn't, and they don't. Today, we live in a society whereby information is readily available. Hey Google is all that is necessary to access the collective consciousness of humankind. This accessing of vast quantities of information was promised to make us the most enlightened beings in all of history. It hasn't, and we're not. Now, why is this? What is now called the cloud used to be called the library. Accessing the library required allocating time to go, effort of driving, cost of fuel, and often money spent for copies. Upon arrival, you would search thousands of index cards within the card catalog, and finding the card with your book's information, you followed the info like a treasure map, leading to the bookcase, section, row, and shelf that contained the book you wanted. From there, you would spend time reading, taking notes, cross-referencing facts, defining terms, all in an effort to digest the matter you're exploring. The investment made in searching out the matter increased the value of your discovery, and thus you retain the things you had just discovered. In other words, gaining knowledge cost something. It was earned. It was retained. When the only quest for information begins with waking a microphone plugged directly into the cloud, not only does it devalue the information, but it also thwarts retention, as we are confident that the information will always be easily accessible. Now, many of you are thinking just how glad you are that library days are good old days, and that we are better off having knowledge at our ready access, but this is simply not true. We do have access to information, but not knowledge, and we are not knowledgeable. Remember, information is external. Knowledge is internal. Beyond confusing information as knowledge, perhaps the most insidious aspect of cheap and easily obtained information is that it misleads at best and can be dangerous at worst. That is, the response you hear, especially in the advent of AI, is based upon a quick scan of social media platforms and sites such as Wikipedia. The results? A crafted social narrative, not necessarily the truth. There's a bright line between a narrative and a truth, and therein lies the danger. Think of it this way. When you simply regurgitate a predetermined response, it's as if you're copying someone else's homework, a person who may not have a clue about reality, and how dumb is that? Had you spent some time doing your own homework, you might have reached a very different conclusion than the inanimate voice telling you what to believe. Yep, far from promised geniuses, the access to readily available cheap information simply created pseudo-intellectuals. Pseudo-intellectuals who are convinced they are experts in all things, yet in fact have no real knowledge of anything. So, the next time you find a pseudo-intellectual espousing pseudo-profundities, remember today's grain of sugar. We are drowning in information, but starved for knowledge. Do you know a pseudo-intellectual who's wrong on the facts more often than not? Or maybe you have a story to tell the colony about a time you were thin on the facts and it created a hiccup that needed burped. If so, share the details in the comments below. On behalf of GOS Media, thanks for stopping by. If you enjoy our videos, then please like, subscribe, and share with others. If you want to support our work, then become a colony member by joining us on Patreon or pick some merch up from our website. The links are pinned below. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Grains of Sugar. I've been your host, James Frost.